Welcome to the Alas podcast, the Sonia's Corner in the Lower Ringland. I will be your host today, Jorge, and there is this quote that I like, that the world is not made out of atoms, it's made out of stories. And with that, I would like to present Arturo, the president of Alas. Welcome, Arturo.
Thank you, such a warm welcome. As you mentioned, my name is Arturo Pacheco. I go by he or him.
So, you're the president of the club, right? I mean, I'm also part of the club, but can you talk to us about the story of the club a little bit?
If it started back in 2013, and it was founded on the roots to unite the Latin American students. Prior to that, there was no formal organization or student club that focused on keeping the community together. By community, I mean the Latin American community.
And, me as a member of the club, I do believe it has done that. Like, you have created a small community. I have met a lot of Latin American people through the club. And, me personally, I have gone to the events, but can you tell people about the events that the club has hosted in the past?
Obviously, the club, let's say that, got reshaped with the global pandemic. Before COVID, the club used to host huge events in venues in downtown, sports tournaments, clothing donations, among other fundraisers events. And now with COVID, we mostly focus on starting to get the community back together, doing icebreakers, making sure that the new students who started online get the opportunity to interact with people from their own backgrounds, and that way they won't have, let's say, too much hope sickness.
And, as the times go, like, what do you think the club advocates, or what is the club trying to advocate for?
The whole purpose to organizing social events is to donate. Even with the parties where there was a ticketed entry, all the proceedings were donated. And now, with all the COVID restrictions, the club got limited in that aspect. So we always try to find a loophole between the SFSS guidelines. So, for example, just a couple of weeks ago, we organized a clothing drive where we collaborated with MEXA, which is the Mexican Student Association in UBC, to donate around 20 kilos of clothes to Lookout Society in Yukon. It's near Olympic Village. It helps those in need who are in the streets and, well, let's just say the winter is cold.
I mean, and just for our listeners out there, the Lookout organization is definitely something you guys should look at. It's out there to help people, and it's basically a safety net for the homeless. So, just to finish this section, what's your favorite thing about this club, Arturo?
The community that it brings, like the network that you develop throughout the events. Like, you really get the sense of, let's say, for example, brothership between you and I. I've known you since 2018.
Yep.
And, for example, I know almost every aspect that you bring to the table, and, vice versa with me. And I feel like knowing that well your companionship, you can complement each other to produce the most efficient work possible.
Thank you. And just to switch her up a bit and focus more on you, what would you say is your favorite instructor or class at SFU?
So I'm a fourth-year criminology student, so I had...
You have experience.
Yeah, couple like 30 courses under my belt. But my favorite is the one I'm currently taking, Criminology 413, it's terrorism. The professor Garth Davis is amazing, super fast-paced, but he just keeps the lecture so interactive and so well-organized that even though it's 2 full hours, you're always asking for more. I hate doing readings. I usually skip the readings before class. I just study for the midterms and finals.
Yep.
Yeah, like 90% of SFU students. But with those ones, I actually keeps me at 3 a.m. Sorry, like it's just super interesting.
And I feel like because I will soon be a graduate, and I feel like there are instructors out there that they're just good at that, like keeping the class interesting and like really want to make you go to the class,
Yeah.
even during these times that like, eh. But you know, what would you say is your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yeah,
Tacos al pastor. Obviously,
I mean,
kind of complies with the stereotype. But the tacos al pastor, only from Mexico City, are just the best. Outside of Mexico City, they're like copycats. They don't make the same recipe or the same, I don't know what it is, but it's just, even the color is different. The adobo, which is like the sauce that they cook the meat in, just so bright orange. And then they put like pineapple on it. And oh, man, you have to try it.
and just for the viewers out there, like tacos al pastor is a whole experience. Like you see the guy, he grabs the plates, puts the tortillas, right? And he just starts slicing the fucking meat.
Right, they have like the meat in the, we call it back home, trompo,
Yeah.
which, for example, when you're having a kebab, that they cut the meat and then they they get it on the hand.
And it's the pineapple on the top. We can joke.
Priceless.
It's priceless.
I'm hungry now.
So what would you say is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I'll say any of the series of John Wick. I mean, if someone will do that to my dog, I can see myself at least trying to avenge him.
Yeah. And what's your favorite restaurant? Like
My what?
favorite restaurant here in Vancouver?
My favorite restaurant, I'll have to go with Hanayuki. It's the best sushi I've had in Canada. It's
Nice.
in Inlet Center, so near Port Moody.
Okay.
And every time I skip lunch or I just don't want to cook, I always order from there.
I mean, I will have to check that place because sounds
Man,
good.
it's amazing.
I know Miku. Miku is like a sushi restaurant, but it's in downtown. It's expensive, but it definitely is worth it. So this is a tough question, Arturo, but you can feel free to not answer it.
All right.
What's an embarrassing story you're like feel willing to share with us and everybody out there listening?
So in my first year, actually my first term, obviously I wanted to get outside my comfort zone as much as possible. I wanted to meet new people, as many as possible. And so I bumped into this ski and snowboard club here at
Okay.
SFU. And they organized like an icebreaker in Ilia, which is now Beercraft. And let's just say that I lost count of how many vodkilas I had. I ended up puking all over myself in the patio.
Don't worry. We all have stories like
This is
that.
your president, all right?
Yeah, they all have stories like that. In a side note, it's like you're getting old when you say like, you remember that place that used to.
I got kicked out of the place that night. I don't know how I got into my room or how I went to bed. It wasn't a pretty image in the morning.
And like the last question in this section is, what's like a bucket list for you? Sorry, like a place you would like to visit, maybe some food you wanna try.
Mm, So thanks to COVID, I got into road cycling.
Okay.
And ever since summer 2020, I've just been obsessed with the sport. I changed bikes 3 times, and now I am finally racing my first semi-professional race, RBC Gran Fondo, from here, well, downtown Vancouver to Whistler. And that's been at the top of my bucket list ever since I started riding. And I'm finally doing it in September 10, 2022.
That's nice.
It's going to be so nice.
I bet not many people are looking forward to bike for that long. But now this is an experiment. I don't know if it's gonna make it, but we're gonna do a game, right?
Right.
So my idea is that we're gonna make you do this. It's basically a geography game,
All right.
and you're gonna try to guess as fast as possible.
Okay.
And hopefully one day we'll have like a scoreboard with like all the viewers, all the people we have been here interviewing. So are you ready?
Ready.
So I will try to narrate it for our listeners out there. But here we go.
All right.
So first one, Salvador.
Salvador. Over here.
Easy.
Brazil.
Easy.
Cuba.
Easy.
I always forget where Suriname is.
You know, we don't want to put you in the spot, but you're
Yes.
the Alas. You know, like, damn. Easy.
Dominican
Arturo is going so fast I can't even like talk about it.
No.
Okay,
First mistake.
you're trying to find Dominican Republic? Nope.
No.
You were warm. You were warm. Nope. Okay, you got that wrong.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Ecuador. Panama, easy. Okay.
Hell
good.
yeah.
Peru. Nicaragua. Go on. Bolivia. Uruguay. Damn. Arturo is racing through this. That's why you're a president, you know? Belize. Costa Rica. Of course, Mexico.
Of course.
Easy, easy.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So Arturo got 84% in a minute 14. I feel like, you know, because you're the first, we don't know. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. So, Arturo, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I believe that this world is made of stories. And we have both shared stories. So, just to kind of like close the podcast, what's something you want to tell? Like, what's an advice you will give to a student out there, a first-year student, criminology student?
It'll be to not waste time with people who are not worth it. Here in university, you meet a lot of people. Some friendships that you do want to make it work, some friendships that you just don't. I don't know. For a plant to survive, you have to water it. And if you're the only one watering down the soil, let's just say that if you stop, then it'll die.
Yep.
So it'll be just to filter people out of your routine. Like right now, we are studying, and you're making the basis and foundations of your professional and adult life. Make it count.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a good advice. You know, people come and go, and we get to choose, right? Who do we want to stay or not, right?
Yeah.
Arturo, it was nice to have you on the podcast. Is there any, well, we will plug ourselves since we are Alas, so follow us on social media
Alas SFU.
on Instagram and Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
and find us here on YouTube. Thank you for listening us. Goodbye.
The links will be in the description below.
Yep.